Good evening. The Rio Rancho Board of Education meeting for Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020 is now called to order. Jane, can you take a roll call for us?
Yes, I will. Madam President Galbraith,
Present?
Vice President Morgan,
Present.
Board Secretary Scott, Board Member Cullen,
Present.
Board Member Coleman.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have a quorum. Okay, we will now move on to item D to approve our prioritized agenda and proposed time allocations. I propose that item C be changed to a discussion instead of an action item. Is there any other concerns or questions on the prioritized agenda?
I make a motion to approve with the change. This is Board Member Catherine Cullen.
I will second the motion. And Jane, can you take a roll call vote on this for us?
I will. Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Scott, Board Member Cullen,
Yes.
Board Member Coleman, President Galbraith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries. Okay, moving on to item A under business, and actually switch notes here. In a second. Okay, the Board of Education met in a closed executive session on September 23rd, 2020 under section 10-15-1H7 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act to discuss pending litigation with legal counsel. The matters discussed in the closed meeting were limited only to those specified in the notice of the separate closed meeting. And I would like to make a note on this, that there was an inadvertent technical error in the notice for the executive session this evening. The notice listed the correct legal authority, parties, and court, but included an incorrect case number. The correct case number is D-1329-CV-2020-00517. Okay. I will now move on to item B to consider authorizing legal counsel to proceed as discussed in a closed session.
So do we just need to make a motion to approve what for this to proceed as discussed in closed session with legal counsel? Was there any special terminology that I needed on that motion?
No, I think you can use exactly. Go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, Board Member Cullen, I think that's adequate. Just authorizing a motion to authorize legal counsel to proceed as discussed in executive session.
Basically what I just did. So, okay, I make that motion.
You got it.
Okay.
Should I make a second? Was that the motion?
Yes.
Or okay, this Board Member Jeff Morgan, I second. Thank you.
Thank you. Jane, can you take a roll call vote for us on this?
I will. Vice President Morgan,
Yes.
Secretary Scott, Board Member Cullen,
Yes.
Board Member Coleman, President Galbraith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carries 3-0. Okay, and we will now discuss the resolution of small group instructions for grades 7 through 12, and Dr. Bisu Cleveland will be our presenter for this.
I don't know if anyone else has that problem. It jumps down when I go to push and it's kind of like a game that we're playing. It's this resolution. I certainly want to give credit where credit is due. This resolution is pretty closely built on the resolution that will be evaluated by the Los Alamos board tomorrow night. And we wanted to do something somewhat similar and wanted to give you a chance to have access to it this evening to look at it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The primary issue is that we have some students that are not special education, but they are high priority students. They are at risk for a lot of different reasons. And so this would allow us to do the same thing that we're doing now for children with disabilities, to be able to bring back some children that are 7 through 12 that we feel we desperately need to reach out to now, and that we're not going to be able to wait without some irreparable damage being done to those kids. And so, it could be a lot of different things. It could be, and just an example, it could be a child who speaks a language other than English, is an English language learner, and desperately need that time, and maybe is struggling a great deal with the inability to read the virtual curriculum. And so this would, originally, we thought this was going to occur. We thought we were going to be able to bring back our at-risk special ed students, that particularly D-level kids, and are at risk. And then at the last minute, a decision was made not to clear the at-risk at that point in time. So that's it, just very briefly. But if the board does support it, we would like to ask the board to vote on it at the next regular meeting, but just would give you a chance to see it in advance and asking questions that you might have.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Cleveland. Vice President Morgan, do you have any questions on it? On the resolution?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you. And Board Member Collin?
Dr. Cleveland, have you talked to PED about what their plans were with these at-risk students?
Well, my understanding of what happened was that the public ed department put it out and approved for us to bring our at-risk students back. And that it was the Department of Health and the Department of the Environment that raised concerns. And so then it was withdrawn as an option within the order. We have not been given any indication, to your question, about when at-risk students would be able to come back. And so that's why we're just kind of prompting the question again, trying to get it back so that it can be discussed. And we really do hope that there are some students that we could start to bring back fairly soon. Again, adhering to the social distancing, keeping the small groups pretty much on the model that we have already in place for children with disabilities.
Okay. And Los Alamos is, you said, voting on it tomorrow.
Yes. Los Alamos board will be voting tomorrow evening on this resolution. There are a similar one. I know there are some other districts that are also bringing it to their boards this week and next. So, we were asked to bring it to you for your consideration, and so that's what we've done.
Well, I'm in support of it. Obviously, we know that some students are having difficulties during this time, and we keep pushing it out a bit further, and they're just going to fall further behind. So, thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Collin, and yeah, thank you, Dr. Cleveland, for bringing this to us with the help of all your staff. I think we are hearing a lot of this from the community currently. We're seeing numerous emails and communication that comes in, in regards to this. So it's a good resolution, and we appreciate you bringing it to us tonight.
I do want to be sure that the board realizes, and I think you do, this will be very limited, just like we can't bring back all children with disabilities, only the more severe. This would be the same kind of situation. It wouldn't be that we could bring back everybody, but we would do a triaging to try to identify those students that really seem to be having the greatest difficulty and address those. And I know that a couple of you have mentioned to me concerns about some students with social emotional issues that are really struggling with this. And certainly they would also be considered as high-risk students that we would look at as well.
Are there any further questions? Go ahead, Catherine.
So I know that we don't, we're not voting on this. So I definitely believe that we should go ahead and push forward on this, put on to the next board meeting for a discussion and action item.
And it'll be good to have more board members to be able to listen more about it. So, okay, thank you. Anything else, Dr. Cleveland, on this?
No, just we'll bring it to you on Monday. It just gives you a
Okay.
little bit of an opportunity to think about it before Monday.
Okay, thank you very much. And with that, unless there's anything else, I'm looking up faces. We're good. Okay, and with that, our meeting for tonight is adjourned.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you so much.